I'm actually not sure who I am favoring here. Like, based on the last game, and I think that was an important point to make, that Boboka was exceptional in the Earth Spirit. I don't know if he can pull off the same performance on Ricky this game. He can start out by dying.
That's one way to do it. Smoke breaks, Boboka gets revealed, XXS, he's going to skewer, 4 heroes back. Is he going to try and take this for the team? Boboka is still revealed for the moment, but the dust, it just wore off. They have to plan down a Sentry Ward 2, the Cogs push him out, S4 will get the kill, and isolates XXS. He's trying to run out, S4's body blocking him up. They need a little bit more time to attack into him. They don't have the damage. So XXS will be able to back out of here. Even with the PMS, he takes a lot of damage, and it looks like he's going to go all the way back to base to heal up. And Burning and Q are going to try and make the most out of this. They're advancing forward. They want to take this bounty rune away from Ana because they know Ana has no friends to help him. In fact, okay, now they do. S4 will come in. He'll cause Burning back down again, forcing Burning to actually contest for the rune. And then blink himself away to safety. But it did go the way of Ana. So it's just a 2-for-2 trade-off for the runes after all of that.
Very nice start for OG though. Great play to move down there, get the dust off on the Ricky, get that kill. Forcing Magnus back to base, like you said, also makes a difference. And in addition to that, they also managed to force Burning skill Blink level 1. And this actually does make a bit of a difference in this matchup against Clockwork, because what Clockwork wants to do is he wants to keep trying to cog the animation, get him out of mana, but it becomes like this fist fight early on where AM will just try to run at you and mana break you down so you can't do it. At this point the option isn't even there, so S4 can get quite a bit more out of this lane than usual, unless they actually just tri-lane and sit on his Clockwork, just like in game 1.
But then again, is S4 really that sad about that? He held the creep wave back far enough, and Boboka can't really easily kill off this Clockwork.
Oh, that's good enough. Unfortunately for him, now his wave is pushing quite heavily. So he got like 2/3 of a level here, almost 3/4. It's just Clockwork has this problem that other offlaners don't, that he is really not that good at retiring into the jungle. Like, you can't really farm the jungle very well, and in addition to that, you're against a Ricky. It's not really an option. So he's going to try his best to at least just keep the enemy heroes here and try his best to get levels. He got a bit of experience there, but now he needs to be careful, actually. Doing some good damage here, will survive.
And another defensive Cogs has to be triggered.
Flask and Tango needs to be used here. Still keeping the Shrine available.
I want to keep my eyes a little bit closer on, well, on 2 lanes in fact. XXS is going to skewer back, Jirax getting in range of the tier 1 tower. Jirax copying a lot of damage for that. But it's mid lane. It's watching the DK play. Now obviously we know Ana's going to have a better time once he reaches his bottle. But OP kind of destroyed him in the mid game, in game 1. How does this scenario play out here in game 2?
I think this lane matchup, I'm not 100% sure how this usually goes. I think it's fairly even. It's hard for Storm to harass Dragon Knight out entirely, and yes, maybe you hit a Static Remnant once in a while on him, or at least the Overload, but Dragon Knight can of course lower your damage a lot with Breathe Fire, and at the end of the day this should be like pretty even, you know. There's a slight lead for Storm, but he's also pushing in, so there's more creeps coming on his way. Overall, just fine. As far as mid-game goes, Storm versus Dragon Knight is a very volatile matchup, where if Storm gets the jump on DK and pulls him into his team and then kill him off, that's great. If he can't, Dragon Knight has one of the better stuns against Storm Spirit. It's very fast, used to be instant, but still is a very quick stun. And if you get caught off guard by that as Storm, you could just get killed off by a lot of things in this game.
Oh, no, Boboka. He's killed many couriers in his time, and if he gets this one, the bottle will be delivered to Ana. The courier will still die, so there's no ferrying available for Ana. And Jirax actually just took the Invis rune as the Monkey King, bouncing himself away.
Still a lot of good gold. Of course, as always, it is a way less significant loss to lose a ground courier than a flying one.
He hit the scan.
Ground courier gives no experience, and
actually triggered the dust. Yeah, Jirax wants to go on Boboka. The last second of that Radiant scan revealed him, and Jirax is trying to do as much damage as he possibly can to kill off this Ricky, and he will have enough. Jirax able to solo kill off Boboka. And this Ricky Maru, the presence, if you don't count the courier kill, is actually pretty minimal on the map.
Jingo Master is pretty good skill when you hit 4 times. It's a lot of damage.
The real 4 position.
That was kind of crazy. I actually didn't think he was going to be able to solo kill him, but just enough time. So, well, let's have a look at the side lanes a little bit. So No Tail and Burning are both more or less free farming, and this is a classic matchup where both heroes actually have kill potential on each other. It depends on a couple of conditions in the mid game. If the Spectre has any sort of setup on the AM, where AM is locked down, she can kill him really, really fast with Desolate with a Manta style. And on the other hand, if AM gets the jump on Spectre with an Abyssal Blade, he can burn all of her mana before she even gets the Haunt off. So it is one of those matchups where I feel like rather than the carries, it's about how the other cores are doing. Like if Storm can set up the Anti-Mage for a good game, or if the Dragon Knight can put enough pressure that Spectre can keep farming like this and reach her items. And so far pretty even overall, I would say.
It may start to tilt a little bit. You look at what Burning's built. Like he's going no boots, he's got the PMS, and he's got Hand of Midas ready to go. If he wants to, in fact, that's exactly what he's done. He just bought the recipe, and it's coming in the backpack of the courier.
It's funny, this we were calling this a TI1 matchup, right, between the carries. This Anti-Mage Midas, I know Burning did it in a recent game, but apart from that, I can't remember seeing it in an official game since Hvos did it in like the Defense 2 or something. Like it's been really long time since people bought Midas on AM. So interesting. Maybe tells us a lot about how teams perceive this patch, that it just doesn't go as fast right now anymore. It's pretty bold if you think about it. He's going for a Midas AM build-up against a team with Dragon Knight, which, you know, usually want to push towers fast, but just doesn't feel threatened enough.
I would love to agree with you with your point, but at the same time, like you look at the kill count that came in from game 1, everyone was going Midas, and we're still going at least 2-3 kills a minute.
Absolutely.
So it's like the pace of the push game has slowed down, but they're still
fighting.
Much more brawling.
Definitely still fighting.
And thanks to Ana having that sentry ward, which was planted down previously by Jirax, they know what's coming his way, and they managed to... Okay, did he really... He's actually quelling blading through all the trees near him, so Jirax has only got one tree to work with.
Both Boboka and Jerax have very low levels. Jerax is closing in on level 3 minutes. Boboka just got level 2, so the 4 positions in this game will be a little bit quieter, probably, than the last game where Boboka kind of just took over the game.
Is Jerax actually trying to hide himself inside the rune?
Oh, look, like, there's a haste.
Haste rune city. Like, you need to get the perfect rotation time to make that work.
Which one is real, the static one or the moving one?
I don't know. You try and click both of them.
Oh, looks like he at least secured the rune for Ana there. Or actually, rather, he took it himself. I guess Ana didn't want it. Maybe they see some play potential here, but this kill is very difficult. They're waiting for Jerax to hit level 3 so they have that boundless, but it's such a short duration stun, 0.4 on level 1. This play in my mind doesn't really exist.
It doesn't, but the fact that supports aren't there for Invictus Gaming, it still gives the confidence for S4 to play aggressive. And maybe this is also the time when Jerax needs to back out. Like, yeah, he doesn't have level 3. Okay, maybe with Phoenix here, they start the attack. You've got the Blink Strike, so you can get away that way, but Jerax pounces forward, the rocket will connect, and Phoenix, do you want to commit to this with a Spectral Haunt? Burning isolated, but he's able to jump away, but the Spirits fly, needs to hit the target. Burning dodges 2 so far. Watch the fancy feet go, 3, 4, he dodges all of them. We've got Michael Flatley, Lord of the Farm, right here on the top lane.
He could actually even have been cocky there and gone for the kill on Fly if he wanted to. That's maybe a bit extreme, but Fly was out of his spells. And he had a creep wave on him, but Burning just escaping that, going to be very happy with that.
Storm Spirit's now going to be able to kill off Fly, so OP burns the last bit of his mana he had to do so. Notal actually got kind of lucky because he jumped back down to his illusion on the bottom lane and was able to get back into the farm without being stuck up on top.
How much did Ana do with this? So whenever you look at a Dragon Knight mid, there's the big moment for Dragon Knight, the first big moment in the game, the hero is pretty stale in the start. Like, you're just a static laner, you're just farming. Maybe you get a kill if you get some great rotation, but most of the time you can't do it alone. So you wait for level 6, and then you want to try to push the tower.
Yeah.
How much did he get out of this Dragon form? He managed to get half a tower while Storm was gone. They've rotated in the Silencer to leech the lane.
You got it down to a quarter.
That's pretty alright, actually. That's always the threat when you're playing against Dragon Knight and you leave your lane. This is a thing you have to take into account. And IG might have been caught a little off guard. You generally don't want to give this much health for a kill on a support. I would say if Fly got the choice, he would take this trade any day, that he gives up his life for 2/3 of a mid tower this early in the game.
Is OP ready to go? Boboka's managed to find Fly. But he's got 1-1-1 at the moment. So we could potentially get the...
There's double damage on Ricky for a little bit.
Anna? Okay, OP gets a little bit of a wrong jump, and then the sprites actually hit the target perfectly,
nice.
make it so difficult to kill off Anna. So Icarus dive forward, Bobaka as well as Q are not very healthy, and with a battery assault from S4, he's going to find this kill, a little bit more mana. 1 second now, he's got the hook shot up, S4 goes in deep, finds a kill on Q. And there is nothing Bobaka can do about that one, apart from maybe snipe off Anna, but no, Anna back into dragon form. He wants to push the lane.
Sick play by Fly there. That was kind of made up for the 4 he missed in a row by hitting a triple. They needed that too. If he hits like 1 or 2 targets there, I think Anna will die. But Ricky couldn't make use of his double damage. He had no attack speed at all. And like you said, this tower, if he gets one more hit in, this tower is down. Yep. Anna is being a bit cautious here.
He's
though.
got 14 one charges, so he knows he's safe.
Fly even steals the bounty rune away from the Ricky. This is the... Usually goes the other way around.
Notel wants to fight. He's got Spectral Horn available and wants to try and come out. And here it comes. Fly
got
gets silenced up, and Notel, he actually focuses onto Q instead. So while Fly might be down, Notel needs one more attack to get the kill on Q. With S4 right behind him, Bobaka also has to run out. But it guarantees the last hit on the tower in the mid lane for Notel. In fact, he's the man to take it. And he went for an early, like, not even phase boots, it's just that Urn build onto the spec.
This game definitely looks better for OG than the first one did here in the early game. Getting a couple of good kills, getting the first tier 1 tower. They're still slightly behind on experience, and I think they more or less evened out the gold, but just slowly but steadily they're going to take away this map from IG. If Ricky can't really get any bigger impact than this over the next short amount of time, there will be another tier 1 falling. Whether it's bottom or top that OG choose to go for is
Jirax, he's going to dust over on Bobaka. The Sentry Ward revealed him, so Bobaka has to actually blink himself into the creep wave. But the stuns are available, and Anna with a haste rune runs up and basically breathes on him.
This definitely looks like an OG that have done their research on how to deal with this hero. In comparison to how much Bobaka dominated.
XXS actually is in trouble at the moment. A hookshot's available for S4, able to hit it, and that's locking him in. Skewer was already triggered, and there's no point throwing out the RP at that point.
This is why Clockwork is so good against Magnus. If you can force him to skewer before you hookshot, it's a very easy hit because it takes quite a while to skewer, so you can't turn. And apart from that, in the mid game, if you're scared of a blink mag, if you hit him with a rocket and you hook on him, and sure he skewers you both away, you just have this like weird side battle that has very minimal impact on the rest of the fight. But it has a lot of impact because there's no RP, and you're often willing to trade your Clockwork away for that, just keeping both heroes out of the fight. Good stuff from OG. This top tower is actually close to falling now with this rotation from Ana. This is exactly how you should play Dragon Knight in almost every single game. One tower to the next, to the next.
Every time your ulti comes off cooldown, force a team fight or force a push.
And Ricky is just not a hero right now. I think that's the problem. They've dealt with him so well this game in comparison to the games at DAC that Bobaka is level 4 minute 12, and I think the Tome has already been used by Silencer to get his level almost 7. So IG are kind of forced to slow the game down because of the nature of how, in my opinion, greedy their draft is. Their 2 cores all 3 of their cores actually are very item dependent. Anti-Mage, Storm, and Magnus need to farm. And that means if the supports aren't making plays, seriously, how many plays are you going to make on a Silencer? Well, who's left? The one guy that got hard countered is left to make your plays. There's just not plays happening right now.
S4 missed his hookshot, so Q's able to retreat off the top lane. XXS may not be so lucky as they go Spectral Haunt quickly into the dagger. They know Magnus has that skewer, but very difficult to do. He has to RP, but the Breathe Fire from Anna's in range. So RP now goes down. That's 112 seconds before it's going to come back off cooldown. He'll probably have it by the time he's got the money for his Blink Dagger. A lot of issues when you lose such big team fight. OG can now pressure once again. Dragon forms off cooldown in 12 seconds time with a double damage rune. If they want top tower, they can probably take it. But Burning is bailed out. He's gone bottom lane to add pressure to the tier 1 tower of the safe lane of OG. The
way I see it, this is the only way IG can play this game right now with a win condition. If they don't split push like this with Anti-Mage, it's just not going to happen. Like, team fights right now are borderline impossible until Mag at least has a blink, and even then, do they actually have the damage to kill heroes? OG are fairly sustainable and have, of course, the counter engage of the Clockwork, and their cores, both Dragon Knight and Spectre, are not easy kills anymore. So you gotta take it slow, split up the map, and try not to get picked off too much. The good news in that regard is this Anti-Mage, once he gets like his first item that gives him a bit of tankability, will be very hard for them to kill. What do they have? Hookshot. He can blink out after. Dragon Knight needs
he may not get to that point. Jirax, the hookshot comes in, and Jirax follows up on the stun. It was Burning trying to just farm with a little bit of empower those Ancients. But when that happens, Anna's pressuring the bottom lane.
Well, he doesn't have his tank ability item yet, Toby.
No,
so
he doesn't.
He is very mortal right now.
It questions, like, should you have gone for the Vanguard and used the Empower instead?
It's a possibility. I feel like this Midas into Battle Fury with Empower is like ultra greedy when you're playing against Dragon Knight lineups. So, I'm
Storm
not really that big of a fan.
S4's right behind him. He's got the battery assault valve, but it's going to cog him in, and No-Tail will do the rest. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Fly throwing out the sprites. XXS gets a jump away, but it's too much damage. Even Anna's attack follows him out. Q's got nowhere to survive, and Bobica's smoke screen doesn't really do anything. His damage into Fly, that'll do something. But Mr. 3 Aquila doesn't even have that much money, and G-Rex is ready to go again. No-Tell, that high movement speed with the phase boots. The tricks of the trade will buy a little bit of time, but G-Rex, a perfect moment, lands the stun. A quick blink up, but the Urn Charge is out. One attack from No-Tell. He doesn't see him, but the Urn Charge, it ticks him down. He doesn't reach the shrine in time. OG kill after kill. They take the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, and S4's already setting up for the top lane.
I don't know, I can't help but feel like this death scene is like when you try to get to an oasis in the desert and you see it, you start having this
mirage.
You have this Fata Morgana and you're right. You feel like, I got it. Yeah, unfortunate. Ricky doesn't make it. Well, if this continues, then IG will be hitting a wall soon that they can't really climb anymore.
Unless Burning just plays elusive.
They need this, they need this Mag Blink.
He actually needs his Battle Fury in order to do that, because he can never sit next to the Magnus to get the buff.
Yeah, and even with the Battle Fury, he's exposed to die. He can die to a Haunt and 2 stuns.
It's on the Bobica. The Sentry wards are down. The Observer ward saw Q coming in as well. So I was optimistic that would work.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But here they come. Dragon Form off cooldown and tier 2 tower. Middle lane, or they just smoke up. Blink Dagger plus Armlet on the DK. Where's the target? They don't have vision of anyone. You do have OP as well as XXS trying to farm the only safe place, which is currently OG's jungle. A dust goes out. They do not see Bobica. They just see Q instead. He doesn't really have much more to offer, however, apart from his life.
He did. Yeah, he did. Love this item from Ana. This is exactly what they need to do. Blink Dagger on Dragon Knight right now. It's Shadow Blade or Blink. Either is good. Just go hunting, you know. Find the Storm, find the AM. With any sort of backup plus a Haunt, it's a kill. So the map is just not safe anymore, anywhere for IG if they don't have great vision out, or if Ricky isn't providing very good scouting at the same time. It just passively limits the farm of Burning that he needs to be so scared all the time. OG will now find the first tier 2 of the game. The good thing for IG is that they have Ricky, so they get wards out at the very least.
Yep. Ricky's going to scout out the movement to top lane. It's No-Tail. Burning needs to get out of here, but Jirax is waiting for him. Doesn't find the right opportunity, but No-Tail haunts him. Now the opportunity is ripe. And Anti-Mage, Burning! He blinks, starts the TP through the trees. No-Tail!
Damn, that was close. I think he ran out of phase. He lost the dagger phase for a moment, so he couldn't continue in the straight line. I think he knew exactly where Burning was. But
well, he made an absolute beeline for him. He was going on the right mark.
Just narrowly surviving that. Did cost them a global silence, but it was a trade-off for Haunt. So I think if you're IG and you dodge ganks like this, you have to be satisfied with that. There's not much more to hope for right now. Mid lane. We'll be okay.
Storm, long jump.
Will not be okay at all.
Yeah, the stun's there. He's almost got 4 hits. He's waiting. He's actually letting No-Tail get the last hit. They're pumping money into this spec.
How close is he to Manta? So he has Yasha.
There's nothing on the courier.
He needs about 2,000. That is a game changer, because then Dragon Knight and Spectre together can kill any hero on the map. I think even the Storm can be killed in a Dragon Knight stun alone if they insta-haunt Manta. Top lane, Baboka. No dust and no tail, though.
And no real follow-up. This bottom lane where OG were looking for an opening, and there is one man hiding in the tree lines. It's Q.
Would you believe it? Look at how many towers OG have taken. They've taken 4 towers to IG's 1, and they're 12 kills ahead. Look at the graphs. That's actually unbelievable.
You would expect it to be a hell of a lot more in favor of OG.
You would. It's an anti-mage with Midas, Battle Fury, and Empower. Okay, you know, we will be farming fast, and OG are effectively trading farm for kills.
He's not even that far ahead of the DK. Like, if you balance it out, like the DK AAM are close, the Spec and the Storm are close, the Magnus and the Clockwork are close.
And the other thing is, in a way, yes, this anti-mage is farmed, but his current value is not his net worth. Like he can't use this 10k for anything.
Yep.
So yes, they're keeping up in farm, but in terms of actual like power ranking in this game or whatever you want to call it, OG is at a clear first place with IG far down on a second place.
But what Burning gets out of this is the ability to flash farm.
Yes, eventually Burning will be getting big items.
Anna. He's actually out Ricky Maro at the moment. They skewer. I don't think XXS realize he's picking up 2. The Breathe Fire is available with a blink forward. He needs a Dragon Tail as well. And then the ulti. Nope, they're just going to allow Jirax. Well, I suppose kill secure.
Ended up being a little bit more expensive than it had to. Ana could have blink stunned him and then breathe fire, and then they don't even need to use Haunt or Dragon form. So a bit of a mistake there, which, you know, it's forgivable, right? They still get the kill. But using big cooldowns is a big deal. This is downtime.
Especially when you do this now. Like you move yourself into towards Roshan, you don't have that Spectral Haunt available.
This is pretty risky, actually. I don't think it's that easy. If IG get an idea that this is happening and they know what abilities are on cooldown.
But do they contest it? We're just talking about like anti-mage being basically paper at the moment. Can they do it unless you get a huge RP? Like the pressure on XXS is massive.
They either have no idea it's happening or they don't want to contest it. The thing I'm wondering, so what IG could do, if they knew this was happening, they could move Storm outside the pit and start placing static remnants and try to get some intel on what's happening. And if they get any sort of just decent jump, they could pounce on it with Magnus and Storm, maybe get a kill, maybe steal the Roche. That's what I mean. Like, it's not like OG are not going to be able to kill this Roche, but it could fail. It could be stolen. Or, you see, Ana actually dropped down to quarter health.
RP, they commit. Yeah. They just want the one quick pick off over on Jirax. He was right on top of an Observer Ward.
-2.
-2, +2.
-2.
Glass is half full, Sind.
Yep.
It's technically +4 on Q.
No, it's technically -2 and +2, but not +4 on Q. I mean, yes, he has 4 now, but not that kill total. In total, he has +4. I wonder who stole the int from the first place. First kill, I don't know.
You know, we've been begging for that.
It can only be Fly. He has all the other deaths. So that's answered there. Well, so
at a 506 mana pool.
So all of OG's cores are deathless in this game, and this is a totally different story playing Clockwork under these conditions than in the first game where S4 got countered a lot.
S4, that's a very quick blink away. Thanks to the Observe Ward this down.
XXS, sick hook shot.
S4, there's a reason why you would pick him Clockwork time and time again, even if it doesn't work. This man's really initiation, he is the perfect hooker.
I don't actually think he had vision for that even. He just guessed based on the trajectory of the...
There was the one Observer Ward. He saw... But it didn't see it properly.
I think he didn't even see the skewer start. I think he was in the fog already when he did that. And it was just a guess. Sometimes you guess right. What I was getting at with the Clockwork is, in comparison to game number 1, this game Clockwork is farmed. And this hero is actually really strong with farm. Just, he buys utility items that make him tanky and he can brawl very well.
Jirax.
Oh.
Did anyone bring reveal?
Oh dear.
He's just a Shadow Amulet. He's been playing around with it. Now he goes for the Wukong command. Bobica, trick to the trade. Who's got the better circle right now? He plays for the stun! It connects on Bobica! The Sun Ray's out, so Fly will heal up Jirax, but it's so close!
That was actually crazy close. You know, when Ricky uses Blink Strike, you end in behind the target, but he still got hit by that outward going arc of Boundless Strike, so didn't manage to find that pick that he would have loved to have there. And by the way, it looks like Bobica has changed his item build this game. Realized when you're being crushed, maybe you shouldn't go for 3 Rings of Aquila. This time he's going for a fast Yasha. Ana is going to cruise by here and kill Q with a haste rune. But...
And he can go down. The Observer Ward's watching XXS blink himself over, and with a haste rune, Ana can catch up, and he goes into the ulti form.
This is a bit
He wants to be skewered. He's actually in a position where he's forcing XXS to go into the river by blocking his path out in the bottom lane.
So, what do you think IG are thinking right now? Do you think they feel like they're... No, do you think they feel like they're losing the game? Like, this game is getting out of control. They're ahead 24. No. They've taken out towers.
You've got Burning on 13,000 net worth. He's reaching a point where he's going to be able just to split push the crap out of this game. I think they're okay with this for the moment. Because they also know with Magnus, you've got high ground defense. You've just got to play crafty.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a game with this big of a disparity in kills and towers that is even on net worth. It's like really unusual that you have games like this. And we can obviously
have a 300 net worth advantage being 24 behind.
We can obviously see the graphs and we can see how the net worth is distributed, but IG don't have access to that information. So like I was saying, it's kind of a mental game. Like how how do you feel like the game is going to make your decisions? Do you feel like you have to fight? Do you feel like you can keep split pushing like this and keep... They've been hemorrhaging kills for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Like, at some point, do you feel like it's too much? Or... Burning's like, great,
Burning,
I'm farming, guys. It's cool, you know?
That's going to be your indicator. You basically just ask Burning every 5 minutes, hey, how you doing? And he's like, farming. I'm good, man. Have you died recently? No, I'm 0 for 1.
Yeah.
What's our problem? Oh, wait, you guys are having issues? I didn't notice.
He can obviously see the information he does have access to is the level. He can see on the level chart that he's level 18 and the highest enemy hero is level 17 on the Dragon Knight, who got like 1 billion kills, a Roche kill and towers and everything.
He's 605 on that DK.
He's a lot ahead of Spectre, and that's kind of indicative of his you know, how he's playing against his counterpart. He knows he's far ahead of Spectre. AM will be far ahead of Spectre if both heroes are just farming. So...
But are you still happy with this? We're still talking about going into up against a late game Spec. That's...
I think this game can be won by both teams at 100 minutes in. Like, this is the type of game where it all comes down to who gets the jump and how the items are distributed. This AM will obviously cap out at some point, and so will Spectre, but who has the better follow-up? Like, super late game, I think Storm Spirit is an amazing hero when it's 6-slotted. Dragon Knight's pretty good too, but there's always that X factor of the Magnus versus a Clockwork later.
Okay,
like,
is Bobica patient enough for this? The courier is on its way out. Now, it's going to be buying up the Assault Cuirass of the Dragon Knight. In fact, it's going to have the entire thing on it if he's just patient enough. So he attacks it once, a little too early, but the courier didn't react. And that means Assault Cuirass is down.
Oh, he hit the cam.
Hook shot actually hit the cam, so he doesn't reach Bobica, and the dust is too far away. Bobica just makes a break for the tree line. TP is out, and space has been created.
This is the biggest kill he can find on the map. It slows down OG's item progression by 3 minutes on the Dragon Knight. He had a full AC that he now has to wait for another 2.5. He forced a rotation from Clockwork, who wasted a dust. And the kill itself is... okay, if he could have killed the Dragon Knight, that would have been better, or the Spectre, but that doesn't really seem to be happening right now. So easily way more valuable than killing off a random stray support, for example, what Bobica managed to accomplish there.
Do you like his build? Like last time we saw him play,
he's going Aghanims.
He's actually going Aghanim Scepter on the Ricky. We see him do Diffuser Blade. He went for the Mastering of Aquila into Diffuser Blade last time around. This time it's the Ags Ricky. What's he doing with this?
Fog was actually, I think it was Fog who mentioned this in the panel. I'm pretty sure that this is a possibility. And he almost immediately shouted down himself like, there's no way this is going to happen, right? So this is one of the Ags I think I have never seen in play in a single game. But the way I believe it works is that it's like Infest, right? You jump into an ally, and you can use your abilities inside that ally. Is that correct? Like, you can use Tricks of the Trade inside the Storm, you can use Smokescreen.
That's a good question. For now, we'll watch OP jump away. Global Silence came out, so the Spectral Haunt doesn't find its opening. Bobica, he's just jumping out of there. They didn't get the reveal once again. No detection. Rocket will fly in, but where is your vision? Another dust trigger. He's out of range of it again. This is exactly what happened to OG during the DAC final. It's an unbeatable, invisible force that you're paranoid about.
Really, really great escape here. He can TP out whenever he wants. He's sticking around just for fun, you know? I wonder if they put a sentry too. Let's check. Alright, he's up. So, I believe the idea is that he will be casting his spells from inside the Storm. So Storm can act like a vehicle, so even if the enemy team has good detection down, Ricky will still be able to get off all his spells. I believe so. I mean, it is called Pocket Ricky, right?
It's all about.
So,
Smoke up on top lane. XXS's love a kill, and the best one they could get is Ana. And that's one hell of a kill. So Bobica has to be the vision. Right now they don't see anyone in the tree lines, but look where he goes. They know they're going to find him. Ana, Tricks of the Trade, make sure he cannot blink himself out, pull him back. Jurek's got himself a 3-man stun, but Ana, you can't toggle that.
huge kill.
And this is Bobica who gets the kill. The money towards the great Aghanim Scepter is starting to be piled in.
Can't believe I'm saying that, but that kill is Ricky's point booster. Hey! Unusual. So, well, I had my doubts about Burning. I shouldn't have, I guess. He has been able to completely dodge.
Bobica's dead.
Oh.
That's now Ricky a little bit further away from his point booster.
Oh, he almost got his point booster.
He was
It
short.
still sounds so weird to me to even say that.
If he sold his Quelling Blade, he would have a chance. But you're up against Monkey King. You ain't selling that.
But I want to point out, you know, when it comes to Anti-Mages and you look at the CS and it's like, oh, he has more than 10 CS per minute, that's great. The thing that's really impressive to me in this game is that Burning has only died once out of 21 kills. And he's playing against a lineup that does have kill potential on it until he got this Manta. Oh, very close.
You could hear the Mana Void going off, but it just didn't connect in time.
And now, because he did get away with this ultra greedy build, now he's ramping up way faster than everyone else. I don't know.
He's 20k net worth.
Wait,
we're 28 minutes in, and the nearest to him is just shy of 13k.
What's his GPM? All right, 700. We're still good. I predicted 900 to 999. Don't tell him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you do that when there could be an Alchemist pick?
Alchemist got nerfed a lot.
He did, but you know one of them is going to be appearing somewhere.
Yeah, but it still needs to get 1,000 GPM. If you pick an Alch, you don't automatically get 1,000 GPM. That's still a really good Alch game. So I think Burning might actually reach that point if this game goes on. He will be farming faster and faster. His GPM is ramping up more and more. At this point, 724. So he's closing in on doubling up the enemy cores.
He's running out of camps is what he's running out of.
Yeah, that's a problem Anti-Mage will obviously have in this patch compared to the past.
Nice dewarding there from Jirax. They've got the gem on him now.
This is actually an extremely good Linken's pickup by Anti-Mage. I love this. There's only one targeted ability on OG's lineup that is reliable, and that's Dragon Tail.
10 seconds until
they might have to itemize against. They have a Force Staff on S4, so that could break the Linken's, but it makes the conditions to kill him now are a lot harder for OG to meet. Yeah. Now it's just split pushing bottom. And effectively, what IG has managed to do is, even though they've lost a lot of their map, lost a lot of control in the game in terms of having places to play, Burning has slowly but steadily avoided ganks, farmed up a lot, reached a position of power. Storm Spirit has kept up very nicely as well. He has pretty much the same net worth as Spectre and Dragon Knight on the dominating team in that sense. And now IG, if they do manage to get another item Burning, I think it's go time. They're probably going to get like an Abyssal Blade, and they'll want to fight an OG. Might just be feeling the heat right now. They look at this animation, they're like, damn, he is rich. We need to do something about this.
Get Aegis push, you've got the Assault Cuirass. You just try and take out a tier 3 tower.
This is still really hard. Like, if you try to go high ground with this Dragon Knight, what can happen? He doesn't have BKB, keep that in mind. So he can get Blink Skewered into Global, and he dies under tier 4s, and they can kill him again.
Yeah.
There's actually no way that OG can get in and help him enough.
I suppose if he also triggers his Dragon Form at the very, very start, even if he comes back to life again, he's going to be...
He doesn't have it. And in addition to that, there's this whole split push threat that they also need to deal with. And their wave clear is pretty bad. Like, this OG lineup, how do they push out the creep waves that Burning sends in? They have to send heroes. They have nothing. Arguably, Rocket Flare. It's good, but it's not enough. And S4 isn't even level 15 yet for the talent. So... IG has basically, with what in some ways couldn't really have been a worse early game, had done totally fine, actually.
It's just burning things. It's burning things with their farm. Everyone else helps create the space, and it's the intimidation. And like, how many times has OG lost to the
XXS
Magnus?
Is possibly getting out of... Oh, this is Haunt. He should be dying here. Why are they holding the Haunt? Alright, they wait for his blink. They didn't want to Haunt for them. Surprising. I think that was a free kill. At this point, these kills, No-Tail should definitely try to claim them, even if it costs a Haunt. I don't think there's anything worth saving it for right now. They have the Aegis.
Maybe just worried about the full push on top. But then again, yeah, you're right.
He could have probably even... doesn't he have a TP? Oh, he actually doesn't have a TP. I don't know. Maybe miscommunication there. Maybe they thought they had him.
If he haunted into the bottom lane, it would have been right next to the shop for a TP.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to die from one TP, though. There's no single hero on IG that can kill him apart from Anti-Mage, and he was not in the neighborhood. You haunt... And you find out where he is.
You were talking about it in like the first 5-10 minutes about like the Anti-Mage build, like what does he get for the control, and Abyssal Blade was one of the big things you said. Now he got the Basher, but he's going for Butterfly next in his quick buy.
That's good too. Both options are good. He just, it's like the two items have different strengths. Obviously, the Abyssal would allow him to engage and try to kill off a key hero, whereas the Butterfly will make him way more sustainable in case he does get caught by a perfect execution from OG. Great against, obviously, both the Dragon Knight and Spectre. Neither hero really wants to buy an MKB at this point, so it will be very valuable for defensive purposes. Just wanted to say, by the way, this game kind of reminds me of... There was a phase with Liquid, I think, where Kuroki played Riki.
Yeah.
And the way the game went was that Kuro would die multiple times in the early game, gathering information, forcing out a lot of detection purchase, forcing rotations. And at the end of the day, it was like he could be 0-5, 0-6, 0-7 on Riki, and you could have felt like he had a huge impact in the game just because of how much attention he dragged away.
Well, he was
it feels like the exact same game to me, honestly. This Riki has been such a nuisance to OG, and they countered it, and they did well, but it gave space. It gave so much space to this Anti-Mage that's working out. Similar style we've seen from a team like Adfinum in the past. This tournament, obviously, Mouse Sports. With maybe next time playing Riki or Bounty Hunter. They used those heroes in Adfinum to give Madara a good game on his hard carry, Slark, for example.
Jump forward. They get the dust off on Bobrica. They were trying to give him the farm. It was even an empowered Riki. jumping in and taking out a full creep wave up on top. They're trying to get him his Aghanim Scepter.
The thing about this is that OG have no idea what he's buying.
He kept it secret because if he bought the point boost, he would have revealed it.
He hasn't shown any component. So what will happen eventually when he gets this Aghanims is that Storm will jump in, they will use their abilities, and OG will probably get really confused in the first fight, like trying to find the Ricky, and that's a problem.
Yep.
That is a problem. And I mean,
he was having a bit of a guess. Q was there doing the dewarding, Magnus was in the neighborhood, but the line was wrong. And Burning's almost done. In fact, if he sells the mines, he's actually done them.
This is a nicely educational game of why when people look at games and they only look at the kill score and they're like, they look at that and they decide who's leading the game, it can be extremely misleading. Like every other metric than gold and just creep kills right now is pointing in OG's favor. They have higher kills, they have the Roshan, they've taken all tier 2 towers apart from one. They are losing this game right now. They are losing it really hard, actually.
Look at that net worth. It's still going the way of IG, and there was never really a point where you could say like OG had real control over this game. Even with the kills, even with the jump arounds, it felt like it was happening with the DK. But IG perfectly slowed it up. They split pushed it out. And OG never really got the opportunity they were searching for.
And this to me is just, Burning's going to get out of that, I think. Oh, they might try for a hook.
He actually got himself out of the Wukong command, jumped down. Jirax has it with the Gem of True Sight. There's nowhere to hide, and that's no Ricky for 42 seconds.
I might be able to get a tower, but Invictus effectively managed to completely delay OG for 5 minutes, so this Aegis had no impact at all. They didn't get a single tower with it because of the split push. OG had to defend. Very nicely done. Like, this is world-class play, in my opinion, from IG. You're looking at a team that has 5 kills. They're playing an amazing game. Like, this is super, super good stuff from them. And OG are playing great as well. They're just... Their lineup is has hit its point of weakness already. Like, they haven't been able to get enough out of it. But when you look at the flow of the game, I don't feel like they've just missed an obvious and easy opportunity to win the game. Like, they're not playing bad Dota. It's just...
Like, the only opportunity they missed was not haunting for the Magnus, and that was it. Like, everything else has been according to plan. It's just IG have slowed up their plan. Now the opportunity is Durax hiding under the cover of the Shadow Blade, hook shot forward. The Spectral Illusions actually tanked most of it, but the Spectral Haunt gets them closer. Q will go down. This is the big opportunity OG were looking for. They need these kills. OP so low on mana, he can Bloodstone deny himself if he wants to. The Dragon Tail stun, Ana holding in position. Is there a force up? Is there something? There's a Lincoln Sphere. Ana jumping inside. There's your Bloodstone denial, and Burning wants to keep fighting him. The force up is there, but the RP is better. Catching out two. Now you can jump in, but Bobrika got stunned up. He couldn't follow through. It's a Ricky Maru. Neither could Burning. No man to reveal, but the Lincoln Sphere triggered. He has to bounce back to his tier 3 tower.
They killed the Dragon Knight. That's base defended easily. OG can't do anything with this Dragon Knight dead.
And Burning back to pushing and farming again.
That was a nice move from OG though here, finding this pick off. And they, in a way, you know, a moment ago when I said they've played a good game, I would have liked to see a bit more hunger in this when it comes to killing the cores. It's not easy, you know. In a way, it doesn't sound too hard when you have like Clockwork, Hookshot, and Spectral Haunt, but the way IG has managed to push out these lanes and make the kills difficult, it's not that easy for OG. But there must have been a couple of times where they had a chance, at least, of going on this AM, and it might have failed. You know, maybe they try it and it doesn't work. But if you don't try at all, it just strategically feels inevitable that this will happen. Like if they don't catch Burning ever, OG has played enough Dota to know that this is happening, and they know what kind of caliber team they're facing. So yeah, this will happen against any top team in the world that gets to play like this with Anti-Mage and Magnus eventually. And at this point, it's really difficult. I think that last fight is almost the best they can hope for. They got a great Haunt, they got the hookshot in, they followed through with the Spectre, the Spectre and the Dragon Knight getting great damage off. The Boundless Strike from Jerax was pretty much perfect, and still they ended up trading, what was it, Dragon Knight for the 2 poor supports and ultimately the Magnus, I believe they did get. Or was it Storm? It was Storm who Bloodstone Suicide.
Yeah, Storm had the Suicide.
Yeah. So, but that was definitely good.
It was good.
But marginal change.
IG still got some pretty good hits off. Like the fact you got that RP to happen, yeah, G-Rex made a lot of space, but I think both sides are getting a lot of work done. And G-Rex is, again, with this Gem of True Sight, They've managed to bypass the Ricky. Burning jumps over. T-Rex doesn't find its opening, instead he finds the Ricky. Hits the perfect stun. A quick hook shot from S4, and Anna wants to go in deeper, but the RP is out. The global silence. Anna can't fight this one, or can he? Where's the damage? Burning with a double kill. He'll end the streak. You'll go into the Nova. This needs to create space. It's not perfectly on top of the hill, but it's close enough that IG will have to bail out. And the stun, it connects on the silencer. 2-for-2 trade-off, but again, you've got no DK. No Tail doesn't want to fight this one. In fact, none of OG want to.
This combination of spells is very, very nice, and something classic that we've seen Fly apply in a lot of his drafts. We've seen... Oh, he is dead.
In perfectly.
Great ward.
Instant Abyssal Blade trigger as well, so there's no way for Fly to have any chance to jump out of that.
When
and
Fly,
there's 3 heroes down with only 1 buyback.
When Fly picks Phoenix, they like to have a secondary teamfight hero that sets up nicely with the Supernova. In this case, it's Wukong's command with the Basher. We've seen them do it with Treant Protector, with Overgrowth. We've seen them do it with Earth Spirit, with all of his combination of sounds and stun. It's a nice combo to see in play there. It's just too late. It's been too hard for them to find the conditions to do it.
Burning didn't even need to Abyssal Blade then. The Gem of True Sight's on the deck. OP will take it. I don't think Durex really meant to hold on to the Gem of True Sight when he went in for that suicidal play. But it was a first hit bash from Burning. So you lose Gem, you lose your Monkey King, and you just lost your entire bottom racks.
Yep, he has a higher net worth than Dragon Knight and Spectre combined at this point. So he's actually maxed out. He could get Travels 2 and a Moon Shard. I think we're going to see him buy the Shard right now. And there it is. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Let's watch him.
Sadly, at this point, it's probably not going to be the deciding factor. It's just going to be like the icing on the cake.
He's not even moving it. Okay, now it's in there.
And now eat it. You can't eat it.
So, go on. Do a Bobica. Roshan's up and available.
Alright, so just what Tricks of the Trade does, increases duration and allows you to target an allied hero, hiding within them for the duration. Scepter bonus duration plus 4 seconds. So Tricks of the Trade lasts currently 9 seconds? Really?
It sounds right, but that's a long time.
That is a really long time, actually. Well, I want to see it. Let's go.
Yeah, looking to fight. Let him jump in.
Public's like, wait for me!
Oh, Fly, don't take me! Orchid's up, they jump in quickly. Anna actually jumps into force. It's good splash damage. Magnus will fall. Bring the RP up with the Mana Void. It's so much damage onto the DK. He can't survive it. Durex has to go into the Wukong command. Actually gets a double stun. Both the Ricky plus Storm Spirit called out. S4 couldn't create the space, however, even with the cogs. A triple kill for Burning. And that may be all she wrote. Invictus Gaming have all the power, aka they have the Burning. Looking to push him through the mid. Easy bashes onto the spec. They will actually retreat. No big ultimates available left anymore.
They forced 2 buybacks and 3 of their heroes are low health. That's more than good enough. We did get to see the Tricks of the Trade there, by the way. He used it on the Magnus, who unfortunately didn't get to use RP and did die, but Tricks of the Trade continues even when the host dies. So Boboka was spinning there for a good like 7 or 8 seconds, so yeah, I guess so.
You're making him sound like a parasite.
This is... Look at him. What do you think?
He's a freaking... He's a Goa World now?
A parasite, yeah. More or less.
OG, where are you going to head? Like, Roshan is up, and this may be like their Hallelujah play at the moment. They're probably thinking IG are in there doing it. Durax with the Shadow Blade, just creeping around the back. Remember that RP still available and a big pick if they can take it. Tricks of the Trade is out. Hookshot in from S4. He needs to create space, but he's locked No-Tail inside the cogs. Combining him with the Nova. Burning, he'll have to blink away. Able to do so. So the Nova ineffective, and you've already lost No-Tail. The RP, Blink Skewer, dragging back the Dragon Knight, and that will be the game. They've lost 2 of their big heroes with no buybacks available. The bottom wave is pushing in. Burning will help kill off Roshan, but he doesn't even need the Aegis at this point of the game.
Well, they're going to throw this on the Storm Spirits. Great Aegis carrier. Jarek's doing his best here.
Oh, Boberka, he knew! He had the Quelling Blade out, he jumped up, he went for the silence, and you'll lose Durax as well. You don't Monkey King Boberka. It just doesn't happen.
He's kind of playing, when he's playing against Monkey King, it seems like, for his team at least, he's always thinking about the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Just thinking, what would I do myself in this position? And then just already preparing for the counterplay in case it is indeed there, because he can easily put himself in Jarek's shoes in this game. And
Has fallen.
yeah, what can you say? IG.
Too good.
Excellent game from them. There isn't really much more to say about it. If you can hemorrhage this many kills and it still feels like you're in control of the game and you're doing it all with a purpose, it just shows that you have a really sound strategy and a game plan and you're executing it.
Look at Bobica. He's even using his tricks of the trade right now on OP. He's going to jump in. That's a fresh bash of this out as well. Still doing the damage. The smoke screen's perfect on top of Fly. OP can't finish the job, but in fact now, Notel finding one. They're looking for another one. OP on the run. Not a lot of mana, but the skewer out from XXS. The Aegis Immortal will trigger. Burning blinks away to safety. Still a lot of Spectres on the field, but OP, the mana is up. Ball Lightning's away to safety. S4 was the one that actually gave Notel the space by hooking into the back lines.
Maybe that Storm Jump was a little cocky.
Yeah.
Arguably.
I think also...
But he ends up only losing his pocket Ricky, so...
Like, he used, what, 4 seconds? 4.5 seconds of the tricks of the trade just standing in front of the towers?
I think so.
They jumped in?
They wasted a bit of the time on it. But they kind of have a really big buffer at this point. And I think something to think about in this game, like... For all intents and purposes, this game should be over by now. It's an almost impossible comeback for OG with how far behind they are. So looking forward for them, I think, based on what we've seen today, this is the best team, IG. I think this has been 2 outstanding games from them. So
it also feels like though IG is OG's kryptonite.
Exactly. It seems to be a bad matchup for them, and I don't think OG looked bad in this game, to be honest. I actually think they looked pretty damn good for a big portion of the game. It's just... They were outclassed by a bit, but it's still, if you want to look forward in this Swiss format, like who is expected to go further, I think OG will drop this game, but almost no matter who they face in the mid, they will be the favorites based on this game. And arguably, maybe game 1 wasn't as hot, but still there were some good fight in that as well. So IG are just looking, in this series, are just looking on another level.
Well, IG now have the tankiest of all anti-mages, 3.5k life. He picked up the heart, traded out his BTs for this, and Storm Spirit, the long jump in once again with the tricks of the trade, the stun, the up, he is out, hookshot, space is being created, but nowhere near enough. It is all in favor of IG. Ghost will bite sometime for S4, but he still goes down to Burning, who is beyond godlike. Jirax let the ulti out. OP will deny himself up, actually giving a little more life to Bobica to survive just that little bit longer. Skill from XXS off target. Where's your 5x? Where's your survivability? Notel try and jump around, but he knows it's completely futile. It's more style points at the end. Invictus Gaming will wipe OG just like the DAC finals, except this one was only a best of 3.
Is that laughing there? Is that OP?
It's the entire team. They're having a great time.
So obviously, when you look at this game in retrospect,